Hi guys, this video is recorded to help you formulate this large bus small bus problem. So whenever you have a linear programming problem, the key is to identify three elements as I mentioned. First, decisions you want to make. Second, what is your goal, objective. Third, a list of limitations or restrictions. So the decisions will be translated into decision variables. Your goal objective will be objective function, and any limitations, restrictions will be formulated as constraints. Okay, so what is a good start is if you look at the problem, normally it gives you some keys to help you proceed. So okay, I think I didn't paste the entire problem, but the last sentence of this problem tells us determine number of buses of each type to use to minimize the total cost. So normally if you see a keyword determine, decide, after these keywords, normally it gives you the hint of decisions you want to make. So determine number of buses of each type. So in this problem, there are two types of buses: a small bus, a big bus. A big bus has 50 seats, and a small bus has 40 seats. And then you want to see how many of each you need to rent in order to minimize the cost, because you pay a little bit more for large bus, you pay less amount for small bus. So the decisions are number of each type of buses to rent, and the goal is to minimize the cost. So you can go ahead and write down the decision variables, define decision variables. Okay, so the decision variables will be small bus, large bus. We can go ahead and use L to represent number of large buses, and we can use S to represent number of small buses. Okay, and objective is a minimization. We want to minimize the total cost. So I think it cost us, let's go ahead and check. Cost $800 and $600. So $800 for a large bus and $600 for a small bus. Okay, so that's decision variables and objective function. So now we have to look at this problem line by line to identify any limitations or restrictions. So the first sentence tells us you want to transport 400 students. Okay, that's one limitation or restriction. And then you rate this company only has 10 large buses and only 8 small buses, and there are different number of seats on those buses. Okay, and the company only has 9 drivers. So basically this is the entire problem. You get some ideas about what are the limitations. So first, we know company only has 10 large buses. So you want to make sure the large buses you are going to use will be less than or equal to 10. And there are only 8 small buses. So small bus is less than or equal to 8. And there are only 9 drivers, and only one driver drives one bus. So no matter how many small or large buses you use, it has to be less than or equal to 9, because you only have 9 drivers. Okay, so far we have used almost all numbers given. The only one left will be this 400. Excuse me. So you want to transport 400 students, and there are 50 seats on large bus, 40 seats on small bus. So you want to somehow link the seats and students. So think about it. Can you have less seats than students? No, you can't. You can't let anybody stand up. Can you have more seats than students? Yes, of course, you may have some extra. So the relationship of seats and students will have to be, your seats have to be greater than or equal to 400. And now let's look at the seats. So 50 seats on each large bus and 40 seats on each small bus. So 50L plus 40S give you total seats, and it has to be greater than or equal to 400. And you don't have to write it down, but keep in mind when you solve the problem, this has to be greater than or equal to 0. So that's the formulation of this problem. Hope this video help you understand the formulation process.